I'm Ash, and I'm going to be testing today the very latest external SSD drives on a MacBook, the M4 Pro. There's everything from the GiGimundo, the Sandisk Pro, the Sabrents, the Crucials, the Samsungs. They're all in there, and not all of them live quite up to the hype. But that's what I want to do today, test them for their speeds in two tests. One for the Blackmagic speed test, which most people use, which gets them usually the higher figures, and then a real life test with a very large 281 gigabyte file on each of them. So if you can't wait till the end, I'm going to put up a table right now so you can pause it and see all the stats that you need. But if you want to find out some more information on the individual ones, then stay tuned and let's get into it. There's 9 drives on this test, and the very first one up is this one, which is called the GiGimundo. It is called the GiGimundo G40, in fact. It's USB 4, so it should be very fast. It's the only one that has a fan. It also has a light in there, which you can see flashing away, a blue light. But I think this is quite noisy. Listen to this. I mean, I know that's right on the microphone, but it's still very noisy. Anyway, for the money, it's not too bad value, £154 for 1 terabyte. It has a rated speed of 3,200 megabits a second, and it actually gave out a pretty good reading of 2,800 for the write and 3,200 for the read, which you can see on screen. We'll come on to the large file transfer in the next test. So the second one on the test was the Yottamaster. Again, not one I'd really heard of. This is another USB 4 version, quite plasticky this one, all around, quite lightweight, which I don't mind, but it's also quite big. It's also, when you put it up against your phone or an iPhone, it's thicker than the iPhone is. So again, really good value, 1 terabyte, £129, has a rated speed of 3,150 for both read and write, and actually gave some good speeds of 2,370 by 2,814 on the Blackmagic test. So bear in mind that some of these on this test, this is the easy test, and they will give a rating which is usually fairly close to what it says on the tin or on the packaging or on the spec. But when you get to the big test, the big file test, that's where it really pushes them from a heat perspective and a sustained speed perspective, because I can tell you they're not what they seem, all of these. Some of them are good, some of them not so good. So the next one on the test was the Sandisk Pro, the most expensive one on the test. And this is called the G40, it's 1 terabyte, £279, so it is a lot for one of these. It's a Thunderbolt 3 drive, and its rated speed, its write speed is 1900, and its read speed is 2700. But as you can see on the test, what it actually gave is 2668 by 2798. So this one really outperformed itself. It feels good in the hand. It's slightly rubberized, metal and rubber, but it feels chunky. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not necessarily too big. Yeah, I like that one, but it is a lot of money. Next one on the test is the Sabrent Rocket Nano XTRM. And this one I really like the look of. It's very small, has a tiny light on it. It's a Thunderbolt 3 drive, really nicely packaged, metal with a rubberized cover which comes off if you want it to. It's quite expensive. It has a £165 price tag. It's Thunderbolt 3, rated at 2,700 read and write. Actually, what I got out of this one was 2,500 or thereabouts and 2,800 or thereabouts. So yeah, really impressed with the speed on the Blackmagic speed test on that one. Interesting on the later test when you wait for that one. Then we go on to the Sabrent Rocket XTRM Plus. Again, this was actually the 2 terabyte version, but it's very similar to the smaller one. It's just like a bigger version of it. So it's the same metal casing. It has a nice weight to it, has a rubberized casing. This one has the same stated speeds as the last one at 2,700, but this one gave 2,673 and 2,800 in the Blackmagic speed test. Next on the list was the Sandisk Extreme Pro, which I've had one of these for many years, the predecessor to this one. They are a nice design. They have a rubberized finish. They have a loop so you can hook it onto things if you want to. This is the 1 terabyte version. It's £121. It has a read-write speed, stated read-write speed of 2000 for both. Now, because this one supports something called USB 3.2, .2, 2.2 or 2 times 2, that's something unfortunately the Apple Mac cannot support. The 2x2, that's 2 lanes of information. So although this one states 2000, it was actually getting just below 1000. So that's 990 and 933 as a read-write speed. So that's good to know for you Mac users out there. You're not going to get the speed that it actually can do unless you've got a PC. Next is the Samsung, the T7. So this has been a staple for many people. It's very slim, it's all metal construction, has a nice feel and weight to it. It has a price tag. This is the 2 terabyte version of £137. This one is a USB 3.2 Gen 2 and it has a rated speed of just over 1000 megabits per second. It actually gave just under that at 793 and 726 respectively. So a bit underneath what they are stating on their packaging. So the next one is the Crucial, and this is the Crucial X10 Pro. This is has a rubberized bottom to it. It's very small, very light. It's metal, feels robust. Didn't get too hot in this test, and I think this one is reasonable value actually. So it has a rating of 2000 and 2100 for its read-write. It actually gave 926 and 925, but that's because again this one has that USB 3.2 .2 2x2, so that's not supported by the Mac. So this was only achieving what is about 1000 megabits a second. Next one on the list was the Crucial X9 Pro for Mac, because I wanted to see whether this for Mac version, what was the difference with it. And there are a few differences. It's very similar in price, but it comes formatted for the Mac in what's called AFPS format. So that's what you ideally want to be using or formatting your external SSD drives to run on a Mac. Now, this one is stated at 1050 read-write speeds, and it actually gave close to the X10 Pro at 927 and 921. So that one I would recommend. Both of these are the 2 terabyte versions. Now, just to give you an idea of what I had before, I had the 500 megabit a second Western Digital before then, and then I also had the Sandisk one, which I mentioned before, and they were giving about 400 read-write speeds. So that's all the testing done. You've seen the images, the physical size of them. Now for the serious test. This is a 281 gigabyte, 2 files actually that make up that total, and I was transferring them from my internal SSD on the MacBook Pro over to the SSD drives, and this is where it gets a bit interesting. So let's go through these one by one, because I knew this was where there were going to be some discrepancies with the speeds that they actually state and the ones that actually they can achieve. So the GiGimundo is first. It did it in 6 minutes 39 seconds, and that's respectable. That's a big file to be transferring at that speed. Next was the Yottamaster, even better. For the price of £129, 4 minutes 20. Yes, it's a little bit bigger, but that is a really respectable time. But the outlier, look at this guys, 2 minutes 57. This is the Sandisk Professional, the G40. It's unbelievably quick and sustained quick as well. That's probably what you're paying for. So if you want something that's solid and reliable, as far as I can tell, and quick, sustained quick, then that's probably the one to go for. But it is the most expensive. So that was the fastest one on the test by far. Now this one, oh my God, guys, look at this, 11 minutes 28. And that was the second test, because the first test I did, it got too hot and it lasted 18 minutes. Can you believe that? Not even my old ones were that slow, or they were about the same speed. So I can't believe that. I was really disappointed. I was really wanting this Nano to be the one, because it's just so small, so quick. and it feels good. So then we had its bigger brother. So obviously the heat and this dissipation in this one was obviously much better. 4 minutes 10. So respectable time, but quite expensive for that time compared to the Yottamaster. Then we moved to the Sandisk Extreme Pro, which is the one where with the orange clasp on it. So this one did a respectable time of 5:36. The Samsung T7, a little bit disappointing. It did start to slow down, 8 minutes 28. And then the crucials, both of them, so 6 minutes 12 and 6 minutes 9, which I think is really respectable for this drive. The size that it is, these things are so small. And for the value of them at the price they're at right now, that's good. I mean, you don't necessarily need all of that speed. I don't think, you know, the real fast ones. But anyway, so then we came to my old drives. I just thought I'd whack them in there just to give you a comparison. And in the first test, they came out faster than the Sabrent one. They are good drives. They've been working with me for quite some time, 3 years, I would say, and they've never let me down once. So yeah, I think that test kind of speaks volumes. The ones that I'm going to go for, I think I'm either going to go for a couple of these for now. These crucial X10 Pros, X9 Pros for Mac, sorry, or one of those and the Yottamaster, because value for money and speed of this thing is awesome. I don't know the brand that well, but hopefully they're reliable and I might give that one a try. But just bear in mind that this year, 2025, on the latest Apple Macs that released, they have the option, or on the top ones, the Pro versions, they have Thunderbolt 5. Thunderbolt 5 is seriously fast, and there are a few brands that are just bringing out Thunderbolt 5 SSD drives for external, and they will be the ones to get, but they're going to be unbelievably expensive right now. If you enjoyed it and if you want more information or more reviews like this, then please hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel, and if not, just hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. And if you did want to purchase any of those, then please use the links, because if you do, again, that helps the channel and it helps us create more of these types of videos. So hope you enjoyed it. Let's get on to the next one. See ya.